Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jesse, your DM.
Cody playing Lazarus.
Brennan playing Dis.
Mike playing Nim.
Britt playing Kenna.
And we are Double Doubles and Dragons. We're a group of goofy Canadians that have gotten together to play a little D&D. Sometimes we will say things that are inoffensive. We mean them as jokes, of course, and they're certainly funny to us, but some people may find this offensive. If you do, we apologize, but we don't want any hate mail about it. So just don't listen, okay? Let's jump right into the action. Okay, let's get right back into it. You guys were doing a foot race off towards the ruins. Dis 1, Lazarus came in I don't know if we could call it a second. I mean, technically he blinked forward, but one could make the argument Dis made the hill first. We're just not going to get into it. And Kenna and Nim are bringing up the rear. However, I believe due to their being a little bit behind, they're maybe a little bit more focused on the task at hand, so I will let them perception roll for what is happening down below in the ruins.
$17.
20.
Okay. As you come over the top of the ruins, Kenna, this is your first time getting to see the ruins. And unbeknownst to you, some things have changed. Nim is obviously aware of these changes, and his perception roll was pretty good. The little critters that were spread out everywhere across the ruin are no longer spread out in that manner, which at first seems good. Less so as your eyes kind of naturally head inwards into the ruin. In the center of the ruins, a spot that had previously looked a little wibbly-wobbly to Nim using his detect magic vision, now looks physically wobbly and easily perceptible to the eye. In that middle, where things have begun to wobble out, you can see that the critters have arranged themselves around that wobbly area in a complex geometric pattern. And from in the center of that, you hear a low
Just points and looks like Kenna's like,
I would obviously unshift.
We need an exorcist.
That would be me.
Well, that sounded nothing like the sound you made last night.
Lazarus is unsure he can make that noise.
I feel like it'd be easy. You already got a low voice.
I mean, that's closer.
Tone deaf.
There's no tone in that, because I'm tone deaf. But yeah, that is what you see. So they are around this area, and they appear to be almost chanting into it.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to save my spell slot, and I'm going to start ritualing detect magic.
Fair enough.
I'll tell everyone what I'm doing.
He's going to need 10 minutes. Dis just whips out the daggers.
I whip them out and I'm just like sitting on guard.
Where did
Okay.
the wind thing come from?
All around, center column covered the entire ruins.
Alright. So we definitely can't touch the stones.
Please don't.
Wasn't planning on it. That's why we have you, big lizard.
Know what we're gonna need you to do is to spell as hard as you can.
That's what I'm also thinking. Might have to...
It is a lot more visible now than last time.
I can chime in while I'm ritualing, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that explicitly says you can't.
All right. I'll just kind of be like, yeah, Kenna, if I get close with you, I can almost guarantee that you will dispel it.
Alrighty. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I think it might need to be I'm sorry I'm bringing you in, Lazarus, but if there's a big wind thing and you couldn't stand, there's no chance we're going to stand.
Well, are you suggesting that's a problem with dispelling it?
What's the range on dispel?
Oh, yeah, I guess we can probably see from here. 120 feet. I
You
guess we
could
don't need to get
probably reach it from the edge
Okay.
of the ruins.
Lazarus would prefer that.
He's a scared little lizard.
Lazarus does not want to be picked up and tossed.
Lazarus
Fair.
has seen the finger of God.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool you can do superhero landings.
Not with this on, I'm not.
This just makes it more impactful.
And crater.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I'm gonna have to put an age warning on this video. Warning may cause like severe anaphylactic shock from puns. I would imagine unless anybody has anything that they want to get done before Nim's Detect Magic would be done, we'll do that now. Okay. In that case, Nim, your eyes cloud over with white, and almost immediately you definitely see the problem. So, out of this geometric shape that they've created, that they're chanting into the center of this thing, you can actually see magic coming from their little bodies into the center, a fine dot about 4 feet above the ground in that center area. And out of that, not a physical wind, but you can definitely see wind magic spiraling out of the center of it.
Oh boy, Kenna, I can see it. I can see it. We gotta go dispel it. Gotta dispel it right now.
You're gonna have to show me where it is.
Are you seeing with those magic eyes? Magic man.
I can see the animals are channeling magic
You
into
are
like
very
a wind portal.
condescending today, Master Dis.
No, I don't understand magic, so I actually do respect. It's just... It might not sound that way because of how awesome I am.
It's worth noting as well, while Lazarus and Dis do this little side project, that the wind magic that you're seeing come out of the center definitely wasn't there when you saw the towering elemental before. So whatever this is different, but also more deliberate.
They were charging their storm.
And then Nim goes country.
Lazarus thinks he understands.
Wait,
All right, well then let's get close and let's do this. Why are we wasting time?
Lazarus will keep the critters at bay.
So it was
in
just
case.
weak yesterday, now it's like stronger.
No, like this is something completely different from what we saw yesterday. Like this is like they're doing something. We gotta dispel this now.
Oh my god.
Well, let us go then.
They could be possessed by an evil.
Yeah, probably.
Lazarus is pretty sure they are possessed.
All right, the party begins making forward towards the ruins. How are you progressing? Go ahead, put yourselves on the battle mat. And most importantly, I imagine you're going to stop right at the ruin edge and just try to kind of lob it from there as long as you can get that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 120.
You can definitely reach it from there. That's not a problem. So who's up front then? I guess Kenna kind of
Probably.
has to be up front, doesn't she?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
prefer Kenna to be up front.
Cowards! No, I'm just kidding. Send in the girl first.
It's worked so far.
It's really mostly for talking to hunky farmers.
I only have to see Kenna while she's casting. I don't have to see the point she's casting at, so...
No, you would give the portent to her,
But
not
you
what she's
need
doing.
to show me where I'm casting it.
Well, I can describe to you as we're walking. I can just be like, it's like right... Because they're basically in a geometric shape,
Yeah,
and it's right in the center.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they're definitely providing a pretty obvious focal point.
Yeah, so... I will describe that.
Alrighty.
Okay. So you move down, and as you approach the edge of the ruins, you do notice that some of the little critters in the circle have noticed you. They are looking your direction, but they're not breaking the circle, and they're not breaking the chant.
Alrighty. Well then let's not waste any time. I'll cast Dispel Magic at the 4th level into the center of the circle.
But you don't need to level it up.
No? Okay. At the 3rd level. Just saying last time I had a 4th level and a 3rd level.
Yeah, but this time...
This time he can give you the portent.
Oh, right,
and then you get your
right.
spell bonus
Right.
to it anyway.
Yeah,
For sure.
what is the bonus with the portent? You're definitely going to want to use it.
It's like a 23 total, I think.
I get +8.
The 15
Yeah.
plus 8.
So it's like basically impossible
Yeah.
for it to stay in place unless it's not really magic.
What does it count as an ability check? What's the wording on it?
Or does it even get that bonus? 'Cause that
It's
seems-
you have to roll, and it's you're rolling, and the DC is the spell level plus something. I
The
think.
DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah,
What does the roll like
I don't know
as
what
a
it
check?
gets.
I think it's
Looking specifically because it's a
They just
saving
make
throw
it-
that's affected by an order.
I think it's an ability
It's
check.
just an
Oh,
ability
it says
check.
using your spellcasting ability. Oh, so it's not
Oh.
plus 8, it's plus 5.
5.
Oh,
So it'd be 20.
20.
Okay, which is still
Pretty hard.
yeah. So you get to the edge, and you can obviously hear the. And Kenna's like, I got this! And she tosses the dispel magic, and the little white, pure orb of energy kind of like makes a meandering path towards the center. And as it collides with the center, there's kind of a sound, and you actually see that waviness kind of immediately flatten out and become solid again. And as that happens, they switch from and all of the little bodies just keel over dead.
Wait a minute.
Well,
That's what you ran away from yesterday.
That was something.
We didn't have to spell magic with us.
This is true.
I need a perception check from everybody.
Yeah.
I'm looking up. I'm just going to say that.
I'm looking up. Okay, good.
Wow. Awesome.
Okay, how we doing?
Not bad. 24.
24.
19.
21?
18.
Okay. So it's good news. So Kenna begins shit-talking all of you about how piddly those animals ended up being and how she totally saved the day. And as she does that, you all kind of get that like, oh, that breeze is kind of nice. And then you're all like, wait a minute. And as you all kind of like look around, you notice the twigs and the loose grass are starting to pick up. And kind of right as soon as Kenna's like, oh, fuck. There's just that roaring sound. Like think from the movie Twister.
Yeah.
And just immediately right on top of you, the wall of wind goes up.
Spread out!
I
Yeah.
immediately grab onto Kenna, I guess is the one in front of me.
Okay? And how are you trying to anchor yourself? Because it's going to try to pick you up.
Right now, probably not doing anything besides our combined weight, because we're in the middle of the open, I think.
Are we close to any stones?
You're at the wall. Like, you stopped right at the ruined wall.
So, like, is there, like, gaps in the wall, or is it a solid wall?
There's gaps. It's
There's
worn
gaps.
down.
Okay, so I have 50 feet of rope on me,
Okay.
which I would like to tie around Lazarus and me, and then tie it to the wall.
Okay, we'll see if you can get all that done.
What's the ground like?
It's sort of a loose prairie. There is grass and like low-lying shrubbery.
I want to take one of my daggers and go, please don't break. I'm going to grab Nim.
Okay.
He's probably pretty close to me. I'm just going to slam it in and twister that shit.
Okay, sounds good. I have a follow-up question for yours. Are you slamming it into an open area or like one of the shrubs, maybe trying to use like the
No,
roots?
I'm worried about breaking the dagger, so I'd look and make sure it was like soil I was going into.
Okay, fair enough.
And hopefully there's no rocks buried in.
So for the two of you trying to tie ropes and stuff like that, we'll just leave it up to a luck roll as to whether or not you have enough time to get that done or not. So give me that first.
Nope.
Good job, Kenna. Good
It's going to be
idea.
a strength roll. I'm not going to be able to do it.
I tried.
5.
Okay.
3.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Who thought I was
'Cause I
on
didn't
top?
say it yet, but what I was initially going to do was I was going to Misty Step the hell out of there.
Yeah, shit. I just grabbed you. Nope.
Have we...
He could have Misty stepped
Just
out of
stayed
his
in
arms,
danger.
though.
I mean, he could have... I'm more curious if Misty Step will pull him with him or not. I don't think
It's
so.
not like,
No,
Yeah, I don't think it's not like a dimension door style. But he could definitely... I think you can just blink out, basically.
Yeah.
Although there's rules about whether you can Misty Step when you're grappled, but I think you can.
Yeah, he just has to try and get some idea of seeing where he's going. And
Yes.
blink out there.
Yeah.
Well, because I know from last time, essentially we don't want to all be in its AoE. Is my thought, so...
That's certainly fair.
That's where Nim was thinking that he should Misty Step out of there to divide his attack. Well,
I think if that's your first instinct, go for it.
And it's only vocal, so
Yeah.
him grabbing me doesn't
Interfere.
with that.
No.
So I'm just going to be like, sorry, boys, and Kenna. And I'm just going to...
Out or in?
Yesterday when he formed, it was basically around the ruins?
It was the entire circumference of the outer wall of the ruins.
Okay, so I want to go 30 feet backwards for now.
Out of the ruins.
Out of the ruins, and then I want to start running clockwise around the ruin.
Okay.
From that distance.
Since you know that's probably where they'll get taken. Is that the idea, or...?
Well, I'm just thinking, like, I kind of want to split it, and I don't want to be, like, if it
Right
comes
where they are.
this direction, I don't want to be, like, it just kills all of us. So.
Fair enough. All right, so Nim blinks the fuck out of there and just begins hoofing it as much as he can. The two of you definitely, like, it's a good plan. You just didn't end up having enough time. Kenna gets the rope out, and as she's, like, tying it around herself, she just gets picked up and starts lifting off. Lazarus, you're holding her.
Yep.
So at that point, like, you start going too. So I'll let you do an athletics check to see if you can kind of manage to hold yourself down somehow.
I wish we'd been lucky.
Oh, well, 26 again for nat 20. Maybe it's good out.
What was it, sorry?
26.
Okay. So you start to lift off, and Lazarus just instinctively wraps his tail around the first thing he finds, which just happens to be the wall, and he's just kind of like holding you while you're both twistering.
Alright, so I got hurt by one arm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and just utter command to the wind. Like, because it's being something, I'm gonna be still.
Okay.
And make it
Name
do a
of the
wisdom
wind again?
save.
You gotta know its name.
Okay.
Ooh, I like this move.
Let's see.
Wait. I can see this, can't I?
I blinked out.
I blinked out, but
You can see the twister, but you can't see him.
it's the twister making the save.
Yes, but I don't know how you would know it's making a save. That's
Well,
that's
it
the
is a
only thing I'm
foresight.
stuck on.
It is a foresight, so he gets the impression that it happens, and then I don't know, maybe.
Because usually he would need to like know a thing is about to do something to apply it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm getting stuck in.
I'll go into the book and I'll read more specifically because
Yeah,
I typed out what
give it a
does.
look for me real quick.
I have typed out what Borden does.
In the meantime, we have something for Dis as well. So, Dis, you whip out one of the daggers that Meyer gave you.
Scimitar.
Whatever, sorry. I always imagine them as daggers in my head
so I
for
was just
some
like,
reason.
it's been warping in my head back to daggers.
I don't know why. I just
I
imagine
traded
them as
them in for
daggers.
daggers one of the nights.
I don't know. But anyway, you whip out the scimitar, which works even better than previous, and you just hammer that thing into the ground. And it sinks all the way down into the hilt, and as you start to like lift off of it, you actually feel it start to pull out of the ground. And then there's just a moment where you feel it kind of vibrate for a second, and you notice it kind of anchors itself back down again. And as you look around, you notice all of the plant life in a little circle has died.
Whoa.
But we'll get back to you in a minute. What did you read in him?
It seems like because it's I get glimpses of the future, it doesn't specify that I have to know something's going on. Essentially, if anything that I can see, if they make any sort of attack, saving throw, or ability check, I can just replace it.
Okay, and what did you tell it to do?
Be still.
Which would give it a paralysis, one would imagine. I would think would be the closest.
Or just a don't move.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't know, it depends.
Don't use its movement would be another alternative. Of course, it's not really moving.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I get. What roll would you give it? Sorry?
It's a 7.
It's a 7 with its wisdom. Okay, I'm going to say what I think happens, just based on its sheer size and various conditions that air elementals are immune to, but I think, it's definitely worth exploring anyway. I think you tell it to be still, and basically what happens is the small rung that you're on, call it like the bottom, 2 to 3 meters of the thing, all kind of stops. The rest of it continues. It's just too big to hold.
Okay.
But the level that you're on stops. So Dis drops back down to the ground, and both of you drop back down to the ground.
Move now.
just run.
I guess we start moving to the outskirts.
Yeah.
That seems fair. You all just start running. What about you, Dis?
I pull it out. Does it have any problems when I try
No,
to
as soon as you go to physically pull it out, it pops out super easy.
It's like, thank you.
It's a good anchor.
And then, I guess to run to the outside of it and then, like, find a safe...
Yeah, kind of.
When I see them kind of like drop, I'll yell to them to be like, spread out!
And then, I guess I'll book along one of the walls or something.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll go out a little.
So you'll kind of spread out as much as you can.
Yeah.
All right, Nim, you're the only one that's got a good view of the outside. So as you watch that bottom disc, there's kind of a moment where the top funnel of the twister kind of shakes, like it undulates down its length, and you watch it kind of retouch down as it like slams back down onto the ground level. But of course, you guys are out of that at this point. Nim, you do watch though as those arms kind of bow back out of the center, and you watch it just kind of pull back and start swinging towards Lazarus. And by swinging, I mean, like, the circle of these arms is, like, 5 or 6 times his size.
I just like to scream out as best I can. I'm like, Nim, keep using your eyes!
And at that point, we will roll initiative, because the attack has begun.
Find out some weakness, my sweet guy.
Seriously.
Oh, boy.
I forgot how to roll initiative for a second, because it's been...
Just see me skip that
It's
rope.
it's been a little bit, yeah. I won't bother putting it on the battle map. Trust me, you're all within its reach. pretty easily. Okay. I will roll my initiative. Okay.
Plants are all dead. Yeah, no, I was watching him watch it in the mirror, or the window reflection earlier.
No, that's not what I was looking at. I was looking at this.
Oh.
All right. 20 and above. Anybody? Nobody?
Nobody.
Bueller.
Okay. 15 and above.
16.
Okay.
17.
Okay. Nim was 16.
I believe I'm probably next.
Okay,
12.
Is that right, Dis?
Yeah, 10.
Okay. Kenna's 12.
The look on his face told me all.
Dis is 10.
That one.
Okay, so what I need is actually I don't need anything from you, Lazarus. It goes first. It was already kind of in the middle of the attack, and it rolled much higher than all of you. Its dex is really high. So it is going to slam you twice. So basically it comes down with the first one, and as you turn to look at it and realize it's taking up like your entire field of vision,
Daddy.
there's that like all of a sudden the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you kind of turn your head and the other arm is coming in from the other side. So it's just going to pin you between it. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me just roll the hits. That is a 16 and a 19.
Second hits.
Second hits. Okay.
Matches me.
So, I mean, you managed to... What I imagine happens is you probably just managed to kind of hunker down into your armor and kind of take the first one without getting moved around too much. And the other gives you 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, not too bad.
So,
And then I get like spat out.
Yeah, it's not so it didn't pick you up. It can only do that when it's on top of you. But this is just really just the wind impacts you. However, that being said, as you kind of stop spinning and kind of collect yourself after getting that hit, you kind of hear it. Not so much see it move because it's so big, but like you're looking at the ground and grass that was just kind of getting pulled into it all of a sudden just starts getting ripped up by it as it begins to move.
Oh boy.
Into more kind of it picks basically a median direction between you and Dis, because you're the ones that are kind of the closest, at least in my head, that way. So it starts moving on top of you, basically. It moves at 90 feet a turn, so it'll catch you. But it won't do anything to you until it starts its turn with you inside it. So for now, you're fine. But yeah, both of you get taken in by the wall.
Bonk.
That's it for its turn. So Lazarus, it's your turn. You're inside the wall.
Now, what would be the best first one for me here? What did Lazarus even do?
I love that moment when no one's quite sure how to fight it, and I see everybody looking in books.
I feel like my first reaction, seeing as I got some result of it, would just be to turn to it and try and bane it.
Okay.
Just,
Just sort of bane at it.
Yep.
It's a wisdom save, right?
Charisma.
Oh, charisma save. I don't imagine giant twisters for the wind have all that much charisma. That would definitely be correct. I would say that is a fail.
Alright, he was baned.
Okay. The creature is bane, so on its hit rolls and that sort of stuff, it'll
And it's
do the
saving throws?
d4. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you do actually physically notice it kind of changes color. The wind itself picks up a bit of a purplish hue as you feel the bane spread out and fill the creature.
It's just a short shadow. I'm like, well, there's something.
I feel like you're literally shouting at the wind.
He's just shouting to himself. Yeah, I don't really have much to do with my bonus this turn. So I'll just try and move out of it.
Okay. Yeah, I think, let me just check and see here. There's nothing to stop you from moving out of it, but because you are inside it, it's difficult terrain.
Yeah. How far did it overtake me, do I feel?
You're not entirely sure because you lost most of your vision once it overtook you, but you feel like probably at least like a good 30 feet.
Do I feel like in any of those experiences when this cyclone picked up before, did it ever have an indication of having an eye?
An eye?
Yeah.
Oh, like in the middle?
Yeah. Because I was kind of like in the middle of the room, closer to the center of the ruins when I was picking up rocks and stuff.
So I would say when you were picking up the rock, you ended up being in the wall itself.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, you know for sure nothing happened to the critters.
Mm-hmm.
So they must have been somewhere.
Okay. Seeing that he was already just immediately enveloped anyways, Lazarus is determined to just like actually try and forge towards the center.
Okay, that sounds good. How far can you move on difficult terrain? 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So you begin that slog kind of through deeper and deeper.
See if I can get picked up this time.
Let's see, how far did it move? You feel the wind reducing, but not enough to put you in the clear yet. But it definitely seems to be getting better as you go.
Okay.
As you try to push deeper.
Okay. I guess my bonus action is hold on to my knee.
Sorry, what?
Hold on to my knees so I don't fly away.
Okay, try to anchor yourself down as best you can. Okay, that sounds good. Nim, that's you next. Okay. So you're still outside the thing.
I'm somewhere.
No idea.
Yeah, it'd be almost impossible for me to draw it out for you. So just trust me, you're in the wall.
How tall is this thing?
You can't really make out the top from your height.
So taller than 60 feet.
At least, yeah. I mean, if not, at least double that. Otherwise, it would be shorter than it is wide, which seems a little unrealistic.
Can I see the Lazarus for a second?
Please wait while Nim looks up what horrors he might attempt to reap.
Yeah, I had an idea of what to do, but I can't do that, so I'm going to do something
All I
else.
can imagine is him doing one thing that I really don't want him to do, and how terrible that one thing would be.
Let's make
Oh, I'm
a
not gonna-
fire nade.
I mean, on
I
the
took
plus
that
side...
spell off last night.
Yeah, he
Oh,
took
okay.
Fireball off.
That's all I could think of is Fire Tornado.
I mean, on the plus side, it presents a
We need
very
that word.
large target to lob
Sharknado.
things at.
Actually, I don't want to do that just yet. I don't know, I could. Yeah, I'm going to try to mind spike it.
Okay.
Or
All right. So you reach out your hand and you say whatever you want to say for Mind Spike.
I won't I won't yell fireball because I feel like that's going to cause too much unrest. So I'm going to yell.
Only Kenna can hear you.
I'll yell mind spike and watch Kenna duck.
That's true. Kenna probably would duck. Nim, I don't think we've actually had that on these recordings yet, but Nim has a tendency to misname his spells on purpose to mess with the party. So Mind Spike usually means fireball.
And I usually say fireball for mind spike.
But today he's being legit.
Which
Okay.
kind of wouldn't
Is
know.
it a save for Mind Spike? I forget. It's been a little while
It's a
since we used
wisdom
it.
save.
Wisdom save? Okay.
Which is affected by Bane.
That's a solid 2.
Which is affected by
Does
Bane.
not make it, so I get to do...
I would have done the Bane roll, but it was already a 2. I feel like that was
Two.
probably
Come on,
fairly...
let's go into negative numbers.
I feel like that was probably fine.
For 10 psychic damage,
Okay.
and it's concentration. So the concentration aspect is just that I know where it is. So
Okay.
if it goes to a... Only if I'm on the same plane. So if
Okay.
it goes to a different plane of existence, I'll no longer know where it is. But
Okay.
as long as it stays on this
So no,
plane.
it's on another plane, at least.
So, Nim holds out his hand, yells Mind Spike, Kenna ducks. I'm sure. And you lob that ball of energy at it. You do see it impact the wall, and as it does, it seems to kind of shred that part of the wall apart. It does reform, but there is kind of a sound as it kind of reforms, and it does seem to have in some way harmed the creature.
Okay. I guess I'll use my movement to go... So it moved towards Lazarus and Dis?
Yeah, which took it kind of away from you because you ran the other way. Away from you and Kenna.
Okay, I'll kind of run almost towards it, but still in like a circling fashion.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my full movement to do that.
Sounds good. That will take us to Kenna.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall.
Don't have balls, but that's okay.
That's why you can put them at the wall.
So it needs to make a con save.
Alright, it'll make a con save. That is actually, that's 17.
Affected by Bane.
Babe.
Yes, sorry. Let's bane that. That is a 15.
Yes.
It's blighted. I'm blighting it.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
blighting
I'm
it.
blighting it.
Which is which type of damage?
Necrotic.
Okay, just making sure. Should be good. Go ahead and roll for damage.
You're going to need some
I'm gonna
D8s.
need some more D8s, guys.
Get that woman some D8s.
Now, how many D8s do you need?
I need 8.
Oh, I think I got that.
It's 8 D8s.
Well, I need
you see?
2 more.
2 more.
2 more. Let me start rolling.
Starting out strong. Ooh. That's not bad. It's a 4. Wow.
That's a lot of rolling.
27?
Oh, isn't this one though?
Yeah, that's one too.
Yeah, 27.
27? Okay.
I mathed right, guys. Success.
Success is lovely, motherfucker.
Okay, so what do you do to cast Blight?
I don't know. Yeah, seriously, I am. It's very strange for the druid to do that. But it stole life from plants.
Yeah.
So, like,
Well, that may have been Dis.
oh. Unsure of how that happened.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Stab it.
I mean, the whirlwind is clearly evil, but don't blame
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
on it.
I would just yell, I hate the wind! Ruins plants.
Okay.
And then I'd run away.
Just directly away from the thing?
It's, yeah, like, still kind of curving, because I guess you kind of have to. But,
Yeah,
Yeah.
to a certain
Minstrel.
degree.
Yeah.
Bravely ran away.
Okay, so Kenna screams, I hate the wind, and just slams this black amorphous blob of goo at it. It hits the wind, and the wind starts to pick it up, but you can see it kind of like wrap all the way around it as it keeps trying to pick up more and more of it, but can't. And then you watch as a whole, like, 5 foot or more expanse of the center of it, all where that blight touch, just like shatters, the wind dissipates, and it kind of separates into 2 for a second. And definitely seems to have injured it. You watch it kind of separate off, and you can feel the wind, especially on the top half, like, drop noticeably in speed. That would be Kenna. Dis.
Alright.
You're in the wall, you can't really see what's going on, and it's loud as
I
hell.
pull out the scimidaggers.
The scimidaggers. I like it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spin. We're like, I can do that too. I'm gonna start spinning around for my attack and my second hit. And I'm gonna spin my way out of, like, trying to get out of it again from the closest row, like, basically backing up.
Okay, so you're going to try to get back out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, spinning
it will be difficult terrain. We'll get to that. In the meantime, your weapons, magical, non-magical?
They're god weapons.
Yes, but they're not activated yet. I haven't told you they're magical, which means they're not yet. Okay, so go ahead and roll your attacks. I don't... Sorry, I'm just trying to find its AC. Okay, there it is.
10, I'm sure that's a hit.
That is a, like, you start to spin, and you're like, I can do that too, and you, like, overspin and start getting really dizzy, and it doesn't really feel like you connected with anything.
I use my bonus action to go again.
Okay, go ahead.
18.
That'll be a hit. This time you feel almost a resistance, like you're cutting into the wind at a different angle, and it's much more successful.
I guess sneak attack triggers on here because it doesn't have any allies and there's nobody super close to me.
Yep. I don't know how you sneak attack a twister, but according to the rules you do, and I'm more than willing to go with that.
It's probably just surprised I start
Yeah,
spinning.
it doesn't expect you to, like, attack it while you're inside it. That seems weird.
That's right. It's just like, what the...
That's why it's a sneak attack.
What is this guy doing?
Sneaky, sneaky.
Oh, you're in the eye of the storm right now?
I am.
Nice.
He's not in the eye, he's in the wall.
On the wall.
He's just swinging at the wind.
Yeah, I'm fighting.
Like, literally swinging at the
Watch how
wind.
you take down nature.
I will say, while you did feel that connection, there is definitely the feeling that, like, you're not going to be able to strike as fast or as hard as you normally would be able to. So chances are it's only taking half damage from that.
Okay. So sneak attack as well.
But nevertheless, you are hitting it. I feel like for Dis, that's important.
Sure. Sorry. 16.
16? Okay, so 8. So yeah, you definitely connect. You feel like you've hit it, and there's kind of that internal feeling that you know you heard it at least a little. Like, you feel confident about that. It's instinct.
Okay, and then, yeah, I want to spin my way out.
Yeah, you're going to try to...
Attempt to spin my way out.
Yeah, and you can move 15, difficult terrain, and honestly, you're not sure where that puts you. But you're going to kind of keep with that. Okay. So, for the two of you that are outside, as it separates from the blight attack and the turn rotation swings around to being its turn again, there's kind of a low... as you watch that top half that had been separated drop down to reconnect with the bottom. And as it does, that entire bottom bows out for a second and then slams into the ground. And you watch as that bottom half starts spinning faster. Everybody that's inside the wall, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh boy.
Sweet Jesus.
How close am I to Laz? Probably not close enough.
Probably too far. You both went different directions. You definitely feel the wind pick up in speed as well. Like, it gets noticeably faster inside.
It's not the worst.
Okay, go ahead.
19?
Okay.
5.
Okay. So,
Actually, was it a saving throw, or...?
it was a saving throw.
Oh. Well,
Strength saving throw.
then I think I'm 20.
You're 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It won't really matter. You succeed.
20 from 19? Don't you have, like, plus 5 more than?
Well, no, I was 19 after adding up totals before, and then I missed something and recalculated it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, good news. Lazarus, you do not get picked up. However, you do get bombarded by the extra wind, and there's lots of little debris in this thing, so you do take 6 bludgeoning damage. Dis, you're not as lucky. It picks you up off the ground. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage from all of the debris, and it is also going to throw you in a random direction. When you land, you will be knocked prone. Okay. Let me just see which direction it throws you. Okay. So that's sort of good news. And I need a dexterity save for your landing because you have been tossed out of the side.
Did I get tossed in the Lazarus?
No, outside.
Okay.
However, depending on how you land.
18.
Okay. So. Okay, so you'll only take half from this because you successfully landed. Okay, so you take 4 bludgeoning damage as you land. It's a pretty hard landing, but you do manage to stop yourself from being knocked prone. And, as a further bit of good news, because of the good dexterity save, you do not collide with Kenna, who is only about 5 feet away from you at this point.
Hey, Kenna.
Can heal me.
Yeah, right?
Got any of that healing?
Threw you straight to the healer.
So,
Uh-oh.
Lazarus, you didn't get thrown. Dis, you did. You took a little bit more damage. And as you watch that middle section as it recombines, there's that shift again. And it very clearly makes a beeline for Kenna. And it can go 90 feet, so it definitely catches her. Which unfortunately catches Dis too.
Does that move off where I am? Or?
You're going to be in the core at this point. So as it moves to get them, you're in the middle now. So you're out of the wind, and you're just kind of in that nice eye. I don't really subscribe to the twister eye, where there's like a tornado in the tornado. I'm not sure if that's a real thing. I'm going to go more with the hurricane eye of the storm for this one. So you're just kind of in a calm spot, with the wall kind of raging only about 5 feet away from you in each direction. In the meantime, it did move to overtake Kenna, which unfortunately has caught Dis back up in it again.
No.
I apologize. And in terms of whether or not it gets Nim, based on the way you run, it's going to be a close thing, so roll luck.
14?
Okay. You just miss it. Like, the wall goes right in front of you as it readjusts to overtake Kenna. So Kenna, same deal as they've been in. You are now inside. You can't hear anything. You can't see anything. It's pretty rough in there. That's the end of its turn. Lazarus, you're in the eye.
Do I see anything off? Weird? Interesting, standing out?
Do a perception check. And what are you looking for in particular? Like, if you had to describe, like, what are you hoping to find, I suppose?
Anything that stands out that would, like, be this thing's, like, what would I call it? Hook to be here?
Okay, so
Looking
like
for
a
it?
heart or an anchor or something
Yeah,
like that.
something that's
All
bringing
right,
this here.
give it a look. Let's see what you find.
Oh! I'm sad. That was a really bad roll. 6. So, 14 passive.
Yeah, I'm afraid not.
Yeah.
It just, honestly, it just looks like a big thing of wind to you.
Try and slam the fucking wind wall with my hammer while I'm in the core.
Okay, that sounds fine. And your hammer is not magical
No.
either. Okay,
No,
so it will be
I'm just
half
going to make it
damage.
light up with magic.
That'll work too.
As I slam some smite energy into it and see what happens.
Well, we'll see if you hit first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Hey, man.
Go ahead. I'm not saying you won't hit. I'm just saying let's not get ahead of ourselves.
24?
That'll be a hit.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
I'm gonna probably give it a second little smite, too.
Okay. So as you swing towards it, as you feel it start to connect, you just crack that energy into the weapon and slam it into the twister.
Wow.
Oh, leave the damage of the weapon itself separate because it'll be half, but the smite is full.
So the weapon's 9, half 4 or 5 or
4.
yeah, and then 9 of the radiant.
9 of the radiant. Okay.
That was a shitty
13.
smite. 6 to 1.
Okay. So, you do slam into it. That white energy of your smite just rips into it, and you actually watch the wall of wind kind of rent up the side, like a big crack that you've ripped open. It does start to kind of compress back in, but I think you have another attack, so go ahead.
Swing. Oh, it's not great. 13.
Unfortunately, your second strike, you were kind of already in the process, and you end up swinging into the same crack that you had already created, and you miss.
Well, I just, like, I can't really ready my movement to try and follow the fucking little tunnel.
You can try. You can definitely. It would take an action to ready your movement,
Yeah,
though.
so I can't anymore.
That being said, you do notice on the inside, after your connection, you do notice the interior walls shudder a little, and you feel the speed of the walls drop, as it seems to be weakening.
Okay.
Anything else from Lazarus?
No, I'm, like, his movement's pretty much useless right now, so he's just gonna chill there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Nim, then.
I'm feeling like this is going to be a really bad idea, but I see all my friends getting messed up by a big tornado right now, and I'm like, don't worry, guys, I got this. And I'm going to try and polymorph it.
Okay.
There's nothing that says... I read polymorph. There's nothing that specifies, like, that it has to be, like, a tangible...
Humanoid or...
No, totally. It wouldn't be up to Polymorph to decide that it wouldn't work. It would be up to the monster stats to decide if that wouldn't work or not.
Yeah.
Did you take damage?
Yeah, something.
Did you roll
So it's,
concentration? Or is Bane concentration?
Yeah, actually do that real quick.
What's the difference?
Oh, lost it.
Okay. Bane has,
Oh, I didn't even see what it
has
was.
lost.
I rolled a 6.
Oh, I thought it was 9. Shit.
Nope.
Okay.
Good job, Brennan.
Yeah, way to bring it up. Brennan.
Good job, Brennan. You got us all killed.
What's your con?
My con? 3.
Isn't it
Majority of us have three
is it a
con.
saving throw?
Does that count?
Constitution...
Saving throw.
Is it a Constitution check or a Constitution save?
Because
How's
if you
that
get
worded again?
Constitution, the proficiency or the feats, that's
It
the
says
reason
it-
I got it.
So my Warcaster says on con saves to hold concentration.
I'd say it's a saving throw then.
So I guess +5.
Yep. If that's what your thing does. So what is that then?
14.
Then I'd say... I don't think you took enough damage for that to not be. So yeah, I'd say Bane's still on
You
it.
would have had to take
Good job,
over
Brennan.
20.
Oh, sure. Now the sarcasm drops. Now it's good job, Brennan. I mean, good job, Dis. I mean, there's no way Dis yelled that from inside the Twister. Did you saving throw?
Did you do the right one?
Okay, so what is it? What's it for a polymorph, if it can even affect it?
It's a wisdom save.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. I'm gonna go for it. It's funny. It's immune to like all the stuff that is loosely related to polymorph. Like it can't be petrified, but it doesn't specifically say it can't be polymorphed. So I'd say we go with that. That is a 11.
It's beep beep your sheep.
Beep beep your sheep. All right. So I feel like I'm gonna use Lazarus's point of view here, just because I feel like it's gonna be the funniest one. So he's inside this wall of horror, and then all of a sudden it's just gone, and he hears bah, and he looks up, and a sheep just falls on him.
Followed by Kenna and Dis.
Yeah, Kenna and Dis definitely, like, you guys haven't been picked up by it yet,
okay.
so you basically just, like, all are doing, like, the walking into the wind, leaning over super far, and, like, almost fall over when it stops.
Can anybody explain?
I polymorphed it.
I'd hold on to that sheep if I were you.
Don't drop the sheep.
Oh.
There's something horrible inside that sheep.
I think we all, maybe take our best run at it, or we can short rest. quickly, and it will pop out at the end.
Your polymorph lasts an hour, right?
Yeah.
you can. I think you can just make the short
Does
rest.
it
Yeah.
have,
If we short rest now, we've been 12 seconds. It'll be up for 12 seconds.
That's a good point. The longer you take, are you short resting, or are you just going to hammer it?
Lazarus doesn't get anything.
I
so
don't
you
get
just
anything.
chill.
Okay, then.
Okay, then I'd say just line up for an attack. Then
Yeah.
seems the better option. Okay, so Lazarus gently, I would imagine, puts the sheep on the ground.
I pet the sheep once.
Just one pet. I don't know.
You're going to die.
I don't, because like the creature is supposed to be able to like kind of be aware as the sheep, but I feel like just as a giant twister, I feel like the sheep is just like lightly vibrating. like there's definitely something inside the sheep.
It's got static electricity hair.
Oh yeah, it's probably like poofed outwards
Oh my
and
God. It's the goddamn Pokemon.
it's barely being contained, is what I'm saying.
Wait, I'll do one thing and then we'll hit it. I'm going to cast Mirror Image while it's sheeped.
We
Okay.
paralyze it for crits.
I don't know. But I don't have anything to paralyze it.
I'm not Aura. I can't do that anymore.
Then you have hold. You can put hold creature
I can
on.
give it.
I don't
Hold
have.
person.
I don't
Well,
have
I can give
it
us advantage.
on.
I said you can put it on.
Oh, if I slept,
I know.
I
I'm
can
not,
get back to it tomorrow.
I'm not saying.
We'll just leave the sheep here. We'll
Hold
be
on.
back later.
I can give us an easier way to hit it without damaging it.
Okay.
All right.
I want to fairy fire it.
Okay.
Or attempt to fairy fire.
I
It
think
uses the
it
sheep
uses the
stat.
sheep stat block for
Dexterity.
everything, I think, other than its like main.
Nope, it uses it for everything.
I can't-
Polymorph isn't. It's
Yeah.
the druid
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
keep the mental stats.
It's not the mental stats. More its immunities and stuff. I can't remember if the polymorph.
I think it
keeps-
drops all
I
that.
think it drops it if I remember.
But I think if the damage carries. No, even then, that's how you blow through resistances, is that it blows through when it carries
That's the
over.
idea, anyway. Yeah. So yeah, the sheep glows. What did we decide your fairy fire was? Blue?
I'm gonna go.
You can
He changes it.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
right,
Go
that's right, you
violet
changed it.
this time.
All right. So now it's a vibrating, slightly staticky, edgy-looking purplish sheep. You did say purple,
Nice.
right? Okay. Just making sure.
All right.
So yeah, you'll have advantage when you attack it now.
Well then, how do you two need to prepare?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm ready.
I want to. Yeah, and I'm gonna ready an attack action for after Lazarus hits it. Like, actually, at the same time, I want to watch him and just mimic it. Like, just watch for the muscle contractions that are gonna signal he's gonna swing.
I think we've talked about this before. I think as long as you're all standing right on top of the thing, you can all more or less aim to hit it at the same
Lazarus is
time.
gonna snap the shield back.
Yeah, I think that is the
Two-handed.
point of
Get
polymorph.
that second hand.
Yeah,
on there.
Lazarus pops his shield back so he can do the big two-handed hammer swing.
I'm gonna
And
go-
I'm assuming you're preparing a spell.
I'm frostbiting.
Okay.
you
So,
save.
Kenna and I are going to start chanting 6 seconds out. Or aren't you smiting though?
Yeah, but
Okay.
smiting doesn't hurt.
Oh, it doesn't.
It just
Right.
happens instantaneously when he hits.
Okay. So, 6 seconds after we start chanting, everyone hits it.
Nobody
So
nab
swing
one.
at 5.
Nobody that one. That'd be a good plan. Okay, everybody roll hit.
All right.
Con save.
Everybody's
yes.
advantage.
But you're a sheep.
I don't
so-
think the
everybody's
sheep can.
doing
I mean, I'll
attack
give it a go, but never mind. That's a 19.
Oh.
Wow, that sheep just
The sheep just resisted
can I
the
get it to
frostbite.
make a
Bane.
wisdom save though?
it's Bane.
It does have Bane. I'll
Oh,
do
yeah.
the drop on it. That takes us down to 17.
Yeah, then it's good. Oh no, 17?
17 if it ties it.
Yeah, no,
succeeds.
never mind.
Yeah, we needed like 15.
Okay, and then sorry, it's a weirdly present sheep.
It is.
The wisdom save for this is gonna be... Fuck. It rolled a 20, but thankfully the Bane dropped it by its max, so that's 16.
I think it's still saved.
Yeah.
It's tied, so it's
Yeah, he
saved.
saves.
Yeah,
Saves.
and sheep doesn't have plus or minus to wisdom, so it's just 0.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Masters didn't do nothing.
Don't worry, we got this covered.
Sorry, the DM dice just decided to reassert their DMiness.
Yeah,
But at least you didn't get a critical hit, because that would have been
I got
somewhere in there.
22 to hit and 18 to hit.
Definitely both hits.
Should probably roll.
Sheep has like a 10 AC or something like
Advantage.
that. The stat blocks.
Together for you.
I hit both, but they're like 27 and 24 or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
And I'm
I'm going to use first level smites for us.
Okay. So
I'm gonna
2 first level smites.
Sneak attack the first one.
And those all... How does it work with multi-hits again with polymorph? I think it's the first hit hits them,
yeah.
and then they break out after that. So decide your first hits first.
I'm sneak attacking, and I'm going to... Wait, when can I declare that? I thought I'm fine actually right now because I hit it. I'm going to use the superiority die to just do a goading attack on it.
Sure. So do your first hits that are going to hit it as a sheep first, because it won't have the damage resistance. After that, we'll see what happens.
Well, slightly better.
Okay, damage from Lazarus.
First one is 4 bludgeoning and 10 radiant.
Okay.
Or, yeah, 10 radiant.
Okay. Des?
24.
24. Okay. Okay.
And we're all just going to get like...
There's a roll for goading attack in there too.
Yes. I honestly don't think it'll be necessary considering your other 2 hits hit. However, those 2 strikes weren't enough to kill it outright. So you both hit in, your hammer is glowing as you slam into the sheep, and Dis grabs his scimitar and probably tries to cut its sheep throat. And as both of those hits land, it definitely cries out, and then kind of as it does, it goes from a bah to a whooshing sound as all the air starts to unpack out of this thing. It picks all 4 of you up as it starts to expand because there's so much air. But as it's picking you up and reforming, your other 2 hits will land. So roll the damage on those. They will be halved though.
I'm going to goading attack again.
This one.
I would trip attack, but it seems kind of...
might be unnecessary.
I'm rolling shit today. 7 bludgeoning and 7 radiant.
Okay.
12.
12. Okay. So, since technically you both finished off at the same time, I'll do how you finish it. So basically the tiny sheep disappears and this revolving ball of air starts to pick everything up. But as it picks all of you about a foot up off the ground, both of you are just kind of oh no you don't, and you smack down on it again. Both of your weapons hit it right on the top at the same time, and you basically just drill it into the ground, and there's kind of a phoom, and it just kind of dissipates out into the ground and disappears.
Oh, you scimitarred it and I hammered it.
Yeah, right on the same point.
I want you to be cool at the end, just be I sacrificed you, Maya.
What are you sacrificing exactly?
I'm just trying to see if it works. Air power.
You mention it, and you kind of wait there for a second to see if anything cool happens. But it doesn't seem like air can die, so...
Air never dies.
Really not going to be able to prove that one.
It never changes.
I want to do immediately a perception or an investigation or something looking for some sort of anything that this thing just dropped.
Sure.
Would have been right at the center where we hit
40.
it.
Yeah,
62.
absolutely.
I could probably just wait.
Was that investigation or perception?
It'd be, if you're just looking around, because you don't know, what you're looking at yet, probably perception.
Is that 12?
Okay. So, as you get dropped back down to the ground, which was only a foot drop, but for Nim it's a little heavier, which is why he was a little wibbly-wobbly with his eyeballs. Nevertheless, Nim is specifically looking at the ground, because he's closest to the ground. And you watch as the little remnants of air, there's kind of almost like a vacuum sucking motion. You watch it pull a little stream of air across the ground, almost like a snake, towards the center of the ruins, and it disappears under one of the rocks in the center of the ruins. Kind of like it was just being pulled back into that space.
I point it out to everyone and go over to the rock.
Okay. What do you say to them, I guess? Because they didn't see it.
I'm I think it looks like it went under that rock.
Let's go check it out.
I'm sorry, what went where?
The earth air thing. I called it an earth.
Lazarus is now more confused.
The wind, I think it sucked back under that rock there.
Shall we have a look then?
Of course.
Okay. Nim walks over. So the rock is more or less in the center of the ruins. It looks like it was maybe part of... Other things look like buildings and bits of wall, like maybe a fort of some kind. This rock is different. It's bigger, it's wider, and it's right in the center, kind of all alone. It doesn't really seem like it would have been part of a building, but it is fairly large. It's about... To use a unit of measurement you can all understand, it's about 3 nims wide and about 4 nims tall.
It's a Nimmy rock.
It's a big rock.
It's a big rock.
It's a big rock. Okay. You do your thing. Nothing overly good or evil. However, a little closer to this rock now, not so much a strong consecration or desecration, but you do get that nagging feeling of something religious nearby now that you're closer.
I guess I start like up and down, scanning the rock.
Yeah, I mean,
circles around it.
Honestly, it's just a really big rock.
I want to touch the rock.
I think we gotta move the rock.
All right, Dis puts his hand on the rock, like pokes it with a finger. It's a rock. Feels like a rock.
Yeah, push it.
If you tasted it, it tastes like a rock. Hang on, guys, I'm gonna figure this out.
It's a salt rock.
Check and see if it's a rock.
Dis, you want to take a look at this?
Alright, I'll try to convince everyone that we need to just shove the rock.
Okay.
We're going to move this now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
I mean, if there's proof that we killed that thing under the rock, then that could earn us, like 50 gold or something.
And ranks.
What he said.
And ranks.
Do we
Never
still
forget the
have
ranks.
any rope?
Oh, yeah. I would still have my rope
It's
attached to
metaphorically.
me.
Yeah, you'd still have the rope around
it's
your
around
waist.
my waist.
Perhaps someone can pull from the top while Lazarus lifts or pushes.
Do you think
Try
instead
to
of
tip
slide it, try to like
Tip it.
tip it? Okay.
Also, shapeshift into something and pull it.
It's definitely a big rock. You feel like you might need all the help you can get.
But if I pull and he pushes...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I was just saying,
Yeah.
it being a big animal probably will be
Yeah.
helpful.
Very well, we shall try then.
Are you going giant goat for pulling power?
Or I guess,
Probably?
like, before that, like, Lazarus just does a quick check and puts the rock on, and, like, you'll ask internally, just, like, ping, and see if, like, Eldaf will, like, tell him anything, like, that, like, we shouldn't do anything with this.
Okay, fair enough.
Quick internal checks.
So are you praying or using your paladin ping? Which has a much
No,
better
I'd
name
be-
than that, but...
I'd probably be praying for that.
Okay.
Probably, like, try to, like, do it first and then kind of, like, ask a question.
Okay. You put your hand on it. Do a religion check.
Oh boy. 4.
It's a rock. A big rock, but it's a rock.
Well, we're pushing it over.
Okay. In that case, athletic checks from everybody.
So what do you shift into?
A goat.
Yeah, the big goat.
Alright, so then we tie it around the end and then just put the lead down.
Giant goat?
Or large
Large
goat, or
goat?
whatever they call it.
And then, like, Lazarus will get on the other side from where they're pulling from and, like, try to, like,
Yeah,
Get under
yeah, I
it.
gotcha.
get down.
At this point, is anybody trying to do anything clever with leverage, or are you just trying to deadlift this thing as much as you can?
Oh, right now, Lazarus is digging out it.
I feel like that's all Nim is doing, is trying to, like, provide leverage. Like, he's probably got the mage hand on one end with, like, pushing down all he can on a stick, and he's on the other end, like, pulling on a stick all he can.
Just this little nim-sized stick, I'm
Just
sure,
the
is probably
maximum.
nearby somewhere.
Yeah, just to, like, if it just lifts it, like, even a fraction.
It'll
just
help
the
get Lazarus'
reduced
fingers.
friction, right?
Yeah.
And I've got, like, little wedges to, like, provide the leverage.
Okay. Nim's using all of his mental capacity at his disposal. Let's see the athletics checks. How'd we do? Remember to have your lifting belt on. You don't want to blow an O-ring.
Oh, Lazarus blew his O-ring.
That's not what I want to hear from the lizard that breathes lightning. I don't want to know what happens on the other end. Oh, God.
Well-
You go to lift, you fail, you fart, it's lightning, Nim almost dies.
And that one did for 7.
Ooh, okay.
10.
10.
9.
17.
I
Okay.
guess I just slipped, just fell on my face.
Yeah, it's basically just with all the dust that got kicked up, everything's pretty loose. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Your first effort in moving the rock is a failure.
Stand by. Just like sit there and claw the ground for a bit.
Try to dig yourself better purchase.
Hold on, I got a motivational speech for this. We can do this.
Thank you, Dis.
Thanks, Des.
No problem, guys.
I just say nothing because I'm a goat.
Bah.
That's right. Kenna says, yeah, we can.
You know what's really going to blow your mind? Right now, there's a tiny goat inside that goat.
God. Goatception.
It's called pregnancy.
Goats the whole way down.
Oh no, it's
All
a
right,
pregnant
well,
giant goat.
Bunker down and try to do it again.
Okay. Anybody else changing their strategy or just
Well,
going
we just
for
kind of
another
failed
one?
the first time, so we
That's
probably
true.
I
It
feel
might be
like
worth a
Nim-
second try.
Nim gets longer levers this time.
Okay,
Like with the
that
more
seems fair.
time, he's going for.
He's
more
had some
leverage.
time to find a bigger stick and a slightly different rock and
Yep.
just trying to give it a good go. All right, give it a crack. Okay.
7.
3.
20.
I don't want to say Kenna's the only one pulling her weight here, but
Or any weight.
so yeah, no, sorry, it doesn't move.
Even with me?
No, I'm combining your totals.
Yeah.
There's a total to move a rock this big.
No, we have to combine our efforts. We're not all pushing at once. Let's all get on the same side. Because I was pushing a little bit on the other side.
Okay, so you want me to ram into it?
Yeah, and then we're just going to... I'll go on the left of the goat. Goat Kenna. And then you go on the right of the goat Kenna. Pointing at Lazarus. And then Nim gets on top of goat Kenna.
How does that help?
I don't know, but it seems really teamworky.
I don't know if this is a thing or that we could do it, but...
Oh, you're looking at the charge?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna hurt
Yeah.
when you hit the thing, but yeah, you can back up and give a charge at it and put the horns down and see what happens.
You might be able to hit it very high up the center of gravity, though.
No, but if you guys are already pushing on it, and I come and charge it,
Might move a little bit.
might move it.
Move a little. If you guys are good with that, let's give it a try.
Alright, well, I guess in this case, Lazarus has got the rope.
This could be very dumb.
Yeah, and it's just going to be hauling on
Okay.
This is a very dumb idea.
it.
Let's give it a go. Go for it.
Why don't we
Alright,
just all grab a rope. Just pull.
that's what we're doing.
It has
That was just
to...
like, wow.
And she's just trying
It
to
has
ram it.
to make a...
It
I guess
can't
it's
it
not a
can't move.
creature, so
It
yeah.
can't dodge the charge. That's what the roll
Yeah,
is for, to
yeah.
see if you can dodge it. The rock can't dodge.
So
It doesn't have to.
I hit it.
Yeah, you definitely hit it.
Okay.
What I'll say is, because you're doing that big backup, roll with advantage for yours.
Okay.
Other than that, let's give it a go, see what happens. Actually, Lazarus, you're pulling on a rope now, right? You've got a little bit of leverage instead of shoving, so do advantage as well.
Nope. Did not matter.
Switch your
Fuck
dice.
shit.
Switch your dice.
Like, how do you just keep doing it every time?
Lazarus,
11.
11.
16.
Okay.
6.
15.
Okay. Two things happen. One is good, one is less good. First of all, Kenna puts her whole heart and soul into this thing.
Again.
She backs up like 50 feet, gives it the hardest run anybody's seen a goat haul ass, and just collides with the rock, neck down, horns out, and just instantly shatters her neck and spine.
I think we're gonna have to... Oh wait, you just
I'm a
transfer back.
goat.
Yeah,
Well,
she
she
just
I would drop form.
immediately poofs out of form. She just wrecked that creature. However, between her sacrifice, a little bit better leverage from Lazarus, and Dis rolling above an 8, the entire rock shoves about a foot, revealing underneath it something we'll look at after our short break.
Damn it.
Wow, what a cliffhanger. I wonder what's going to happen next time. Seriously, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. If you liked what you heard, share us with your friends. If you hated what you heard, share us with your enemies. Seriously, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll find out what happens to Double Doubles and Dragons next time.